Are you silently struggling to design a real product from scratch, just like I did when I started? You probably know some of the tools in SolidWorks, but you don't know when and why to use them, and you cannot finish a project on your own without following a tutorial. It's because you cannot break down your next move in your head, and that's what you'll learn by the end of this video. Let's say if we wanted to design this perfume bottle and understand the thought process behind every design decision along the way, then we had to come up with this roadmap. But what is a roadmap? If this bottle would be our final goal sitting on top of this dark hill at night with all its components designed for manufacturing, bill of materials ready, drawings available, and tolerances set, and we are at the foothill, a roadmap is what we need to navigate efficiently to the hilltop. There might be multiple paths that lead to the top, but only one of them is the most efficient way of getting there. The question is, how do we find that? Right now, you're looking at the first screen of SolidWorks. What comes next? First step, we break down our goal into manageable pieces: bottle, sprayer, color, cap. The sprayer is standard, so we don't need to model it. Just knowing its dimensions is sufficient. It makes sense to start with the glass bottle. It's stationary, it's the main component, and it's the largest. 3 reasons why I'm choosing it as my first objective. This milestone essentially becomes a smaller hill for me to climb, but I need to break down my steps to properly model this glass. Here's how I would approach this. It's a big cuboid that's hollow, has a bottleneck, features a dent, and it has a sheet metal piece attached to it. My job is to organize these steps in a logical sequence that makes sense and is easy to trace back. That's it. So now, how about I take a random shot at this? Bottle, Y-slot cavity, dent, the sheet metal itself, the Y sheet metal, hollow interior, and the bottle cap. Coming back to this screen, here's how I start. I would go to the part mode and block is on the docket. And the block is done. Time to measure and add the Y-slot cavity. From this point on, the more tools you know, the more options you have in front of you. You could use extrude cut and boss feature, or you might prefer sheet metal and indent tools. There are many possible paths to reach this point, but the important thing is getting there. If you only know one path, that's fine for now. Use it, but you're not necessarily efficient. Here is the path I'll be taking for this. Extrude cut. At this point, I measure the Y sheet metal and just add the dimensions. And my plan is to use 2 extrude cuts to create the cavity. All right, now we are going to add this dent. The road I see for it is through loft. Loft is a feature that requires 2 or more profiles. For this dent, those profiles are triangles positioned here and here. Next, I'll use the sketch I created for the Y slot, the cavity, to create the Y sheet metal. I won't use the actual sheet metal feature here. I want to keep it simple. Done. But the glass bottle needs to be hollow to contain the perfume. This is our next essential step. How should we approach this? Basically, shell is the way to go here for me. Let's do the shell. And done. At this point, the last step before reaching our hilltop destination is adding the bottleneck. This bottleneck is standardized, so sprayers can properly fit onto it. FEA 15 to be exact. It's essentially a cylinder with the largest cylinder on top of it, so what feature should we use to build this? Extrude, loft, revolve. Let's go with revolve. It's clearly the most logical option for the cylindrical shape. Whenever we have something symmetrical and round, revolve is our best bet. We just draw the cross section and revolve it. Our glass bottle is ready. Next hill we have to climb is the color, which we can do through measurements of this color. Its geometry calls for a simple revolve, and that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm gonna draw this as a single path of line, then I'm gonna use revolve for a surface. Because it's a very thin sheet metal, then I'll just add the thickness to it and turn that into a solid body like this. And all I have to do is to use fillet to round the sharp edges. And done. Next, we have the cap. The cap itself is an assembly of multiple parts, as you can see here. It consists of 2 or 3 components. The design features bumps on the inside wall that press lock onto the collar while still allowing easy rotation. Based on these features, I can determine it's made of approximately 3 components, which can verify through measurements of this color or doing this. So all I do here is to draw the cross section and do a revolve. Just making sure all the dimensions are there and the sketch is fully defined. Next, we have the knurling on the cap surface. It provides grip while also creating a feeling of luxury. There is a simple technique in SolidWorks that lets you create this pattern quickly. However, you must add it as your final step because afterward, your part converts into a mesh part and it's not possible to edit or change. At this point, we've climbed high enough up the hill to see the sunrise. We have all the parts and need to assemble them together. This isn't the end of the project. We still need to iterate a few things, check the gaps and tolerances, and consider assembly methods for components like the cap head and cap. But for the sake of covering the general vision needed to complete a project, this is enough. It's worth mentioning that this was a relatively simple design, a short hill to climb. If we were designing a high-performance product with moving components under pressure in a harsh condition, we'd be facing a mountain rather than a hill. But the general concept of breaking down the goal wouldn't change. We still need to take it one step at a time. For you, one big step is ensuring you have more options. Knowing more tools and how they work in your CAD software is your way of climbing faster and easier. Just like breaking down design, learning SolidWorks can also be broken down into easy steps and best practices. You can check out our free webinar on the website by clicking the link below or visiting courses.solidworkstutorials.net/webinar-registration. If you like this video, I'm sure you're gonna love my other video about designing a real product from scratch, step by step, if you click on the video on the right. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and YouTube thinks you're gonna love the video on the left too.